Well, I'm going to tell you a story on how I got involved in the mental health system. I was very neurotic, probably already bipolar, depressed, and I met these two people in the Baptist church, and I was feeling guilty because, like most college students, I partied hard, or a lot, not most. I partied hard smoking pot on the weekends and sometimes once or twice a week, drinking and smoking pot, dabbled in other drugs, never really got addicted to them. In fact, believe it or not, I've tried cocaine and meth and I don't like them because I tend to be a nervous, hyper person anyway, so I don't like drugs that speed you up. Tried LSD, uh, had one good trip, had one kind of mildly bad trip, didn't do it since, and it's been 30 some years ago. And maybe 40. I don't know. Well, let me see. Well, I'm not going to do the math. I'm 54 now. I was 18 when I did it. Did mushrooms a couple times. Had a good time every time I did mushrooms. And it was all in a wild fraternity called Phi Delta Theta at University of Nebraska. They also hazed me because I could party hard and still get good grades and pass. And a lot of them were dumb fucks and couldn't. And also, like a lot of them didn't, some of them didn't care about their grade point average because some of them came from owners of companies. And also, one was a very high ranking staff member of the UNL football team, son of a, and so they could party and not have to get good grades, and they were basically assured of good jobs. They passed though, and I was a serious student, so I left. Got hazed real bad. Was feeling really bad about myself because I was constantly getting put down in the fraternity. Joined a Baptist church. Met these two guys from AA. They convinced me I needed to go to treatment, even though I beat their challenge that said you can't quit smoking pot for 30 days. But since I drank once during that, they said that they lied and said they included drinking because I passed it. So I stupidly went to treatment. They immediately thought I was hiding something because no one wants to quit drinking because alcoholics and addicts can't believe that anybody fucking just wants to quit drinking if it'll improve their life because they love alcohol and drugs so much. They love it more than their fucking kids or anything. And so they treated me like crap there. Ended up going to a halfway house. Had no criminal record. Was in with a bunch of felons and fags, and one guy threatened to rape me, and then I threatened to kick his ass. And I'm pretty sure he slipped me acid because I said I wouldn't mind doing acid if I didn't know I got it. And then I said no, and then I changed my mind. I said no, I wouldn't. And had a psychotic break. Went to the mental hospital. Didn't want anything to do with AA. After that, my psychiatrist pressured me into going. She was a real bitch. And what happened was I wasted a lot of time going to AA meetings when I should have either been working or studying. I probably could have got straight A's in college if I graduated with a 3.29, but I would have finished college much quicker. Either that or made much more money instead of wasting my time in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous listening to people whine about how bad they had it because they just couldn't fucking drink anymore. Did stay sober 3 times for over a year. And people treated me like shit there because I was a conservative Christian and I didn't believe in abortion or swinging or homosexuality. And it was really a terrible time in my life. They kept on telling me to go off my meds because I wasn't really sober, God would take care of my mental illness if I let him. So I ended up in the hospital a few times. No one would believe me that that's what they were telling me in AA, because of course AA is perfect and good and just. Well, anyway, I drink now. It's years and years later, and I've been drinking for years and years. And psychiatrists still try to get me to go to AA. I think that my newest one finally has shut up about it because I lied to him. I told him I didn't drink. But surely after 25 years of drinking or more, if I was an alcoholic, I would have liver damage, be homeless, or in prison if I was a true alcoholic. And then the other thing, I keep on running into these people because I kind of live downtown, and these idiots tell me that meth is harmless, or like I'll say, do you want to drink some beer? And they'll say, no. Do you do meth though? And I'm like, no, fuck no, I don't do meth. That's a felony. And they'll try to convince me that meth is better for you than alcohol, that alcohol's the worst drug, which is absolute bullshit. Pot and alcohol are not in the same class as meth, heroin, or coke. And I don't know. It's almost asinine to argue with them. But, of course, I won't go to therapists anymore because they keep on trying to get me to go to AA. And one of the last times I was in the hospital, a psychiatrist wanted me to go to AA so I could be a good example to mentally ill people about taking my meds and working part-time. I'm not here to be a good example to people in AA that are mentally ill. I'm not an alcoholic, so therefore I don't belong there. I drank the most I drank in 3 weeks last night, which was like 4 or 5 beers, Modelo's. And I was up at 6 in the morning. I went to bed at 10:30. Sounds like a rip. I didn't black out. Nothing bad happened. I have no criminal record. I do have a mental illness, schizoaffective disorder. And I need to be on medication, and I'm on disability. But there's a possibility I'm going to work part-time for a long time, and maybe someday I'll be off disability, but I'll probably never be off medication, and I don't need to be told not to take it, and I don't need to be treated like a subhuman for taking medication or being schizoaffective. Alcoholics are such whiners. I don't even really feel bad for myself because I have schizoaffective. I'm really in good physical shape. I walk. I don't have a car, so I walk where I go, and I walk to the grocery store. I walk to work, and if it's farther, I take the bus. And because I walk and practice kung fu, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life. And sometimes my mental illness does cause me to stress, to be depressed, or I get manic and very angry. But still, I don't have it as bad as someone who can't walk or can't use their arms or is dying or has Parkinson's or dementia. My dad's 78. He has it a lot worse than I do. He's a perfectly healthy man, but he's got he had bladder cancer at a fairly young age from exposure to Agent Orange. He has all kinds of problems with his lungs due to Agent Orange. He never smoked as heavy as I did, and he started getting lung problems at my age, and he quit smoking at 40, cold turkey, and he's 78 now, and he's getting dementia, and just all kinds of things. I have a lot to be grateful for. I have my health. I have a nice apartment. I have money to spend. I have food. I have friends at St. Peter and the Knights of Columbus. I have friends in the St. Vincent de Paul Society. I just, and I get tired of listening to alcoholics and addicts whine because they can't do their precious drug and be intoxicated 24 hours a day. Personally, I like getting buzzed, even getting tipsy, sometimes even getting fucked up, high on pot, and it's Delta 8, which is legal in Nebraska. Delta 8 marijuana. Sometimes I like getting high and drunk, but I would not want to be high and drunk 24 hours a day, and I don't understand why you would. I can kind of understand people who are in chronic pain who get addicted to opiates. I do feel sorry for them because when they get off of it, they have to deal with constant pain. That's the other thing I'm grateful for, is that I'm not in constant pain. I feel pretty darn good most days, actually, really good. And anyway, I won't see a therapist because they try to brainwash you into liberal opinions, and I'm getting my medical care free right now from a Catholic society. I might actually go to therapy for free and just convince them that I want to be called Your Royal Highness, because that's how I identify, just to be a dickhead, because that's how ridiculous it is when I see some of these ugly fucking men dressed up like women. I did see one real pretty trans, and from a distance I was thinking, what a babe, and real high heels and a skirt. But then she came close and she had a tiny goatee, and she looked, if she didn't have that fucking goatee, I would have thought she was a woman and probably made out with her. But with that goatee, fuck it. What are you, a moron? Anyway, I've outlived a lot of people in AA. Some of them were older than me, but some of them died at my age, partially due to shitty genetics, partially due to lack of exercise and shitty diet. And who knows? I can't say, I might die tomorrow, but I hope to outlive them all. But have a good day. Viva Cristo Rey.